Okay, Bassem.
Yes.
You've been doing a lot of interviews, and I have taken some notes on those interviews because I have some questions for you that I think are important that people have asked you, and I want to ask you. So the first one is, what was Israel supposed to do?
Oh
Now,
my
before
God.
you go on, this is a multiple choice question. A, nothing. B, genocide. You
That's
choose.
it.
Those are the only options.
There's the
I
only
can't think of
option.
anything else. I
It's
can't
either
think of anything else.
nothing or genocide.
That's
Nothing
right.
between.
There's nothing in between. Yeah.
By the way, I love these kind of questions. I noticed there's something when you discuss what's happening with Zion. Whatever happens, they say like, well, I'm sorry that we have to kill a lot of babies, but what else can you do? So
What
it's either
else
killing
is there?
babies or nothing. I'm
Yeah,
sorry
yeah.
that we have to bomb or like to decimate a whole region and orphan those kids, but what else can we do?
Yeah.
And when they ask you a question and you tell them not this, like, oh, you're just coming in with a problem. We have no solutions. Yes, it is not my problem to
Right.
give you a solution because of the freaking policies that your government has been doing for
Yes.
75 years. It's not my problem. It's like you putting someone. It's like I was on a podcast lately in Trigonometry. And
Yes.
for 20 minutes,
Yes.
he said, like, if you're the prime minister of Israel, it's like, well, if I'm Netanyahu, I'm going to do exactly what he's doing. No. If you're Bassem, it's like, you cannot transplant me in a position of this guy who prime minister says, like, all right, here it is. Deal with it. No.
Yeah.
And because the way that they ask the question is like, what? Like, here's Morgan. I really don't know exactly what else they do. I
Yeah.
don't know. I mean, I don't
I'm
know.
a baby.
I don't know.
I don't have the capacity for abstract thought anymore.
I don't know. Because here's the thing. Here's what happens with these questions. These questions effectively erase everything before October 7th.
Yes.
As if October 7th happened in a vacuum. As if those Hamas people were like zombies and cannibals and vampires that went out of nothing. I mean,
Yes.
you can talk about them being terrorists and everything, but at the end of the day, those people had families that were bombed, kids that were being killed, wives that were being murdered and raped and all of that. And at a certain point, you have to push back. And their
Yes.
pushback,
Well-
you will not like their pushback. It will be, and because remember when I told you the way that they deal with Palestinians as animals? So they put them behind cages, behind big walls. They calorie count them.
Yeah.
They put them under siege. And then you kill them remotely with your little drones and with your little F-16s behind the screens. At a certain point, when that wall is breached, when people go beyond the screen, you will be put face to face against your creation. We will be face to face with the Frankenstein that you have created all of
Yes.
these years, and you cannot ask them, like, "Oh God, play it nice." No, the whole thing. What happened? What happened October 7th? 1,129 Israelis were killed. 735 of them were civilians, and 373 of them were police and military. Right?
Yes. Right.
And all, of course, all of the allegation of the rape, and I sent you a screenshot of one of their accounts and of the decapitated babies. It didn't happen, and they wanted to do that in order to create an effect. And if you just question that from a journalistic integrity point, where like, can I have an evidence? No, you cannot say that.
Yeah.
So what happens? The kidnapping, the hostages. They call Palestinians hostages. The Israeli hostages. Why can't we call the Palestinians who are in Israeli prisons hostages? There are 5,000 Palestinian hostages.
Yeah. No, they're not hostages because they were arrested for a whatever made up reason the IDF decided to arrest them under
Yeah,
administrative.
they're also not
detention.
hostages because the IDF doesn't want anything in return.
Right.
I mean, they're just not going to let them go. There's no bargaining.
And by the way, you remember when Hamas did that on October 7th, again, not defending Hamas, they said, like, our demand is to have a swap.
Yeah.
Yes,
Release our prisoners and we will release yours. Right?
Yes.
And so, again, I'm not saying what happened October 7th. Like, I believe that any attack on civilians is terrorism. But sometimes but what do you call if that terrorism was a retaliation for your daily terrorism for days and years and months on end? You know,
Yeah.
Or at a certain point, what can you do? You sit around doing nothing. People come into your house and take it away from you. That's in the West Bank. They take your land. They take down your trees. They take away your house. They kill your children. You throw rocks. They break your limbs as a child. You take up weapon they call you a terrorist. What can you do? At a
You
certain
march
point, what can you do?
peacefully. You march peacefully on the wall,
Right.
And
they kill you.
they hold sniper
They'll
contests about how
yeah.
many Palestinian knees and ankles they can
Yeah,
take out.
they will turn you
shoot
into
disabled
amputees, yes.
They target already amputees. There was a
Yeah.
human rights report that actually established that, like, because Israel claimed every single one of our bullets found its target. We were
Yes.
See, this is the thing they want.
Yeah.
They want to say we're precision.
Yes,
We are
yes.
absolute, okay, but then let's look at what the bullets hit.
Right.
And so to your point, it's exactly right, Bassem. And that leads back to the question that they will not ask, which is, what were the Palestinians supposed to do?
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
What was
exactly.
Gaza supposed to do?
And for your part, Daniel, the Great March of Return, continued for 18 months or 16 months. 233 Palestinians were killed by snipers. And you know how many Israeli soldiers were penalized? One.
Yeah.
And he was penalized by 1 month of community service.
Yeah.
Right? And this whole thing about like genocide, there is no genocide because there is not like a top to bottom orders to kill. No, when you create an atmosphere where if you kill a Palestinian, you get 1 month of community service. When you deliberately injure little kids and shoot them, they are fined between $25 and $35. This is when you create that atmosphere, you basically tell them you can do whatever the hell you want. Right? And the thing is, the whole idea, it is not genocide. You know what? I stopped engaging in these kind of arguments. It's like, okay, you don't like genocide? How about too much killing?
Yeah.
How about extreme termination of life? How about it's too much? It's like the same. It's not torture. It's enhanced interrogation.
Right.
These kind of like wordplay that doesn't mean anything. And let me challenge you on this. Let's say right now everybody said it's a genocide. Let's say Israel today said, yes, we're committing genocide. What will happen? Nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing. Nothing.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
they are going to always be justified.
Yeah. They'll just switch the conversation to, a listicle on BuzzFeed of 10 different times doing genocide was woke. And then everyone will share that and be like, actually, it's kind of woke. Sometimes you have to kill everybody. Hiroshima, woke. Nagasaki, woke. Like,
Dresden,
woke.
Dresden,
Yeah.
woke. Yeah, baby.
Yeah, and it's like, it is truly sickening to watch. I mean, so I was watching that interview that you were doing in the one you were describing earlier, where they spent 20 minutes asking you, what if you were the prime minister? And I love the way you handled it, because of the fact that what he was doing, because I saw you playing with him, where you were like, okay, so what if I was Netanyahu? I would continue killing because I'm a genocidal maniac.
Yeah.
And they're like, no. What if you're Bassem? And then you're like, oh, if I was prime minister, I'm Bassem, I wouldn't have done the things that led up to it. It's like, no. What if you were Bassem and you got elected on October 6th? And you had never heard of Israel before, and you won a competition to be the prime minister of Israel, and that happened. What would you do? And it's like the amount of moving the narrative to make it possible for you to be like, damn, that's a good point. I guess I would murder 30,000 plus people.
Yeah. Because what else can I do?
Because what else can I do?
What can I do?
won a competition, and now I'm prime minister of the Jewish state.
Dude, if you won a competition to be prime minister of the Jewish state, if I was you, my first move would be seek asylum in Ecuador and flee. They're going to be coming for you.
Yes.
It should be a reality. Israel next top prime minister.
Yeah, dude, that would be, honestly, I feel like the results would be better. Thank you so much for watching that. Please like and subscribe, and please support us, patreon.com/badhasbara, or go to badhasbara.com.